Hi, everybody. How's it going? I've got the lovely Cody, the writer, and Kara on paper here. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, Kara, you can go first. Ladies
Okay, thank
first.
you.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Kara on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm Kara on paper. And yeah, I'll be working on my first draft of Seaside Princess.
Nice. And I'm Cody the writer. That's my name on YouTube, Instagram, all the things. I post writing content. I'm an indie author of the Ghost Writers Club. Came out this year in April. I'm currently working on draft 3 of my paranormal thriller, Project Terms and Conditions. And as far as the point of the process I'm going through beta reader feedback today, and I'm starting on chapter 3, or chapter 4. I'm further than I thought I was. Yay.
So exciting, so exciting. And hi, I'm Charlie. This is my channel, Charlie Ray Writes, and I'm currently trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing with my Project Reaper. I'm like working on character backstory and world building and figuring out the magic system today. So it should be interesting. So yeah, does anybody have any questions while I'm popping through the chat really quick? Looks like we've got Nicole here. Hi, Nicole. She's ready to yap and write. Yeah. We can,
Same.
we can yap. We got to get those sprints in today. I need to get this work done. Brooke
Yes.
is here. Hi, Brooke. Just popping in real quick.
Brooke.
You have a great stream. Get some rest, Brooke. I know you're going through it right now. Get some rest. Hi, Evelyn. How are you?
Ooh, excuse me. Not me yawning.
We've got DW here. Hi, DW. And Leah.
Leah,
Hi. Double stream.
welcome.
Love a double stream.
Ooh.
Always.
What's everybody working on? And if you have any questions, let us know. We've got Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine.
Hey, Jasmine. Long time no see.
I think we're going to start a sprint really quick. I'm thinking 30 minutes to start, and then we can kind of bump it up as we go.
That's good.
Let's see. And hopefully we can get some good work done today because I really need to
Do the thing.
Lock in.
I need to lock in like the amount of avoidance, you guys, that has been happening on this side of the screen. It's just
Yeah.
I cannot do it. I can't avoid it today. We've got Paladina. Hi, Paladina. So sweet, Charlie. I'm having a light snack to make it through the day. Oh, thank you. And you should have a light snack. Have all of the snacks, Brooke.
Honestly, snack attack.
Jasmine is video editing.
Godspeed.
Nicole is going to be working on draft 1 of a Dark Academia fantasy dual POV.
Sold.
That sounds
I'm here for it.
Love it.
I like all of those words separately, but then you put them together, I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
I'm sad.
Phenomenal. I'll take 14 of them.
Oh my gosh. All right. Should we try to lock in, you guys? Should we try to lock in? Or are we feeling the chatty vibes?
Listen, I'm looking at 2,308 comments. So I don't know if I'm ready to start going through it.
That's the kind of vibe I need right now. I haven't really done anything this week. So
yeah.
I need to lock it.
My goal is to try to get down to 2,000 even by the end of this stream. So that's 308 comments I want to get through.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if everybody is ready to lock in, as it seems we all are, then I guess we're going to focus in 3, 2, 1, right. Hey, y'all.
Hey, that sound was so alarming.
Sorry.
It was a party. We had like a whole audience cheering for us.
Yeah, I
Mm.
like it because it's like almost motivating, even though it's just a sound. How did everybody do?
It was okay.
Pretty good. I'm almost finished with chapter 4, so that's exciting.
Yay. That's
Good
very
work.
exciting. How about you, Kara?
Yeah, I got some more words in. So yeah, I'm trying to like figure out this new environment. So it's been interesting. Yeah. What about for you?
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the love interest's backstory right now. So I'm just writing that, and I had to do some like name research because I'm trying to name all my characters names that kind of correlate with the power that they have. So everything is, I have to do research for that every single time I'm writing a new, like for a new character, I guess. So that took a little bit of my time, a lot
It's
of my
really cool.
I
That's so
love.
cool.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do with that is to sometimes I find that I get the coolest ideas when I start to subvert expectations. And like my first idea, usually I take that and I flip it. So, like for
Ooh.
example, in my fantasy series, I have a character named Thunk, and he's like the big burly dude, you know. So obviously, you would think that his magic would have something to do with like strength or being a warrior or fighting. But I ended up giving him mind magic because he has been told all of his life, and the reason that he's called Thunk, it's kind of like a play on the character Zero from Holes. You know, people called him Zero because they thought that he wasn't smart because he never spoke, he never did any of this stuff. But really, by the end, you're like, oh, he actually is quite a smart kid, you know? So
Mhm.
Thunk is kind of like going on that journey of like his whole life, people have just, you know, been using him for his strength and his, you know, using him for like labor and stuff that people smaller than him can't do. So yeah, his name is Thunk because which is a term used to make fun of him, but really in the end, that's going to be his greatest strength. And so
Very
That's
try
really
cool.
cool.
yeah, seeing whatever your first idea is, flip it, and then be like, I hate it, and then move on, or you might like it. You know,
That's so cool.
there's no
Wow.
rules. You can do it literally whatever you want.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I like to just name my characters after the powers that they have, but not really, because like just like something to do with their power. So like
Mm-hmm.
for example, Rasmus, my love interest name, it means beloved or desired. So it has nothing to do with his power because he's got earth magic. But you can his part of his earth magic is like he can grow flowers out of thin air, whatever, and people love flowers. People desire flowers.
Mm-hmm.
They love them, and it's like a symbol of love, I guess. So that's kind of why I picked that name for him. Do you have any like specific ways that you pick names, Kara?
Um, I usually have a running list of names because, for example, I had like when I was making the map for this story, I was just calling it like number 1 through 12 because I was like, I'll get there when I get there. And then
Yeah.
I was writing in brackets and I was like, okay, I need to change this because this is going to be so annoying. Like place 12. I'm like, we need to know what this is. So I just have like a running list. Like literally, even when I'm driving, I'll see something and be like, oh, that's really cool. How can I like change like the letters in this to make it something I want? And so I literally will just like write a ton of stuff down. And then while I'm drafting, I'll be like, I need a name. And I'll go through the list and I'm like, this fits. And I'll put that there. So this is like more for places. Sometimes it works for characters since it is like such an outlandish like fantasy. But all like my main characters have already been like named like months ago. But all the little places and other characters, that's usually what I do.
I love.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we did have some new people join us while we were sprinting. So let's say hi really quick. We got Jess. Hello,
Hey
Jess.
guys.
How are you? McKenna. Hi, McKenna. And Annie, I literally laughed out loud when I read your comments. Okay, I watched the introduction, then skipped 25 minutes. Hello, friends. Hi, Annie. Is this time traveling?
Yes, it
I think
is.
so. I would have to agree with that. Hi, Ricky. Jasmine says she loves the sound. Yes, I love it too. It's so
Cheers.
And then we've got Z. Hi, Z. We'll be reading this morning. What are you reading today? Nicole is working on changing the characters' names. I feel like they don't fit. Yeah, I get that. I'm terrible at naming things and people. So like sometimes
there's so many things you can pull from though. And that's what I love, because sometimes like depending on like what I'm writing, like for like my goddesses and stuff, a lot of them, their names are based on like Latin words that have to do with like the magic that they have. But then like I was on a stream, actually, I have to give credit to Ian for this, but the name of my world in Project Purple is Taline, and that is literally just the end of the word crystalline, like crystalline, because it's crystal magic. It's a world powered by crystals, and so Taline ended up just being it. Just when he said it, I was like, "Ooh, that's it. That's the one." So there's so many things you could give it from their character arc, like all sorts of stuff. Like when you were talking about your person with earth magic, I was like Terra, like you know, like terraform and like all this stuff from like, you know, tectonic plates moving and stuff.
Yeah, I literally use whatever. I use like whatever. Like I can be doing anything, and I'm like, dude, that's a good name. Like I won't even get into depth about like where some of the names come from, because people will be like, what? And I'm like, listen, you wouldn't know if I didn't tell you. You like it, you know? Exactly.
Yeah. I just like a good symbolism moment. So like like the symbolism with Rasmus, my main character Delaney, hers means descendant of the Challenger.
Ooh.
So that's like some clues and hints as to like what she is, but like also her character arc, things like that. So just I love a good symbolism moment with names. Not that's so much with like places of name, like places, because like for the places, I'm just like, I have no idea what to name this. Like, I'm just gonna name it whatever. Does it have a specific feature or like thing that happens in this area that I can name it that? But it's so hard to name things, especially for specific projects. Like with Project Daydream, I was like on the struggle bus for the names of the characters, the names of the places, the names of the book. And for this one, for some reason, I'm just like, that's the name, that's the name, that's the name. Like it's coming so easy to me for this particular project.
I love that. Yeah, something that I do is like a cheat code. Like if at first, like when I'm outlining and I don't know a lot of names, sometimes the name that I'll just use as a placeholder is like a person in my life that I think reminds me of this character, because it kind of helps me sort of embody them without necessarily having to give them a name right now. Because if I know this person, I know how they talk, how they interact, how they speak already, I can take those pieces and just like kind of like, this is your name for now because you remind me of this person in my life, and their name comes later, you know?
I love that.
That's so smart. That like helps, even though it's a placeholder, it's a useful placeholder. So like the whole time, it gives you like a kind of like a template, and it's kind of like intrinsic in a way. Like as you write it, you're just like, no, I know as how this person would move. And then also it's kind of easier to make like decisions on what characters would do, because you're like, how would this person do this? They might do this, which is so nice.
Yeah, I love that. I love that too. We've got some comments.
No, they're rolling in now.
Yeah, they are. Ricky says, I love the idea in Holes, and your story sounds so interesting. It's got that underdogs rising up vibe that I love.
Very much that. It's very much like found family, underdogs rising up, crystal heroes, you know, queer representation.
I just love the
as
cat.
You do.
Just right.
Look, it's always a thing. She'll come up here on the little, what is this? A record player. And then she'll jump on the desk and then like walk across. And then I just, you know, it's just like a conveyor belt.
Love that so much.
because she
I thought
can't
you were
take a
bringing
hint.
something for the
Yeah, me too,
story.
for a
I was
second.
like, oh, and it's just a cat.
No, here's my cat.
He just did it so smoothly. It was like,
We listen. Me and Duchess, we know this song and dance. We do it every time I'm sitting at this desk. She is always trying to be on the desk in front of my keyboard.
I
I'm like,
love
you can't be there.
Jasmine asks, just curious, do you find yourself reading less when you're working on your draft?
You go first, Charlie.
Oh, me? Okay. I don't know necessarily that I read any less. I try to read for at least an hour every day. But sometimes I'll pick up a book and I will forget that I'm even writing a book because I'm just like so taken in by the book itself. So by a different book. You know what I'm saying. Sorry.
Yeah,
Words are
I'm with it. I'm with it.
We're here.
and then there's sometimes like when I was reading gosh, now I can't, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, where I was just like,
Ugh.
I can't even look at this book. I hate it.
Don't speak
so
to me
much.
about that book. Oh,
It was so bad. I
it was
hated
so
it.
good though, in the best way.
It was good, but it was just like it felt so cold to me the way and I feel like she did that on purpose because it's in Snow's perspective, and so maybe that's why it just felt so like self-centered around Snow, and his connections with the other characters just felt really cold. And
yeah.
and I just like I had a really hard time connecting with it because of that, I think. So I struggled to
Oh
get
wait,
through the book.
you said Ballad of Songbird. I'm thinking of Sunrise on the Reaping. Never
No,
mind.
that's next on my TBR though.
Oh my god.
I
agree with.
so
Okay, now that I'm caught up, I agree. I liked Songbird and Snake, but I felt like it was so long-winded. Like that whole like second half where we have to see him go through all the military stuff and all this. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
like,
I get that this is important. I need to know this for the lore. But yeah, that one was probably like, yeah, like can we just like just a little bit? That was definitely my least favorite of all of them. But Sunrise on the Reaping, my God.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. I'm really excited. But yes, if there was any book on the face of this planet that literally could have been an email, it was definitely
not an email.
I swear.
My God.
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, you guys, that literally could have just been an email. Like,
but see, there's things about it though that I loved seeing. I loved seeing the scene that inspired the hanging tree. Like I loved just like seeing all these things that inspired lore and culture and music that we saw and that we got in the original trilogy. And so while, history is sometimes not the most interesting thing, it's still important to see how those things impacted everything. And then, like I said, when you get to Sunrise on the Reaping and you get that little like in-between moment, that gap filled, there's so many characters that we see from not only the trilogy, but just okay, I'm gonna shut up. I could really write a dissertation on that book. It is ridiculously good.
Speaking of books, I finished yours and I loved it, by the way.
Mine?
So good. Yeah, I literally I picked it up and I read it in like 3 reading sessions. I whipped through that book so fast. Such a good book. If any of you in the chat watching this right now have not read his book, you best immediately after the stream get yourself to Amazon and buy that book. It is so good.
You know what this just reminded me of? You know those videos? It's like, hey, my friend's going to tell you about his really cool collection of cars, and you're going to sit there and you're going to listen. You're going to like it. Have you seen those TikToks?
I have,
and the best friends are sitting in the back like,
I am that kind of person too. So like, that's literally just me. Like, you better listen to him right now. I am.
Yeah. Hey, my friend wrote a book, and you're going to sit here and he's going to tell you about it. You're going to like it.
That is me. But what about you guys? I'm sorry, I talk a lot. So you can find yourself.
Don't apologize, girl.
We loved it.
I will say I find myself reading less when I'm revising, because that is like I'm so focused on honing in on my own voice and on my own like prose and line level things like that I usually don't read during that time, because I feel like if I do, then that author's voice is going to start imposing on my stuff, and it's going to kind of throw me out of my own voice, out of my own groove. Drafting, I don't really notice a change like in my reading, because usually when I am drafting, I am looking for like a voice training kind of thing, while I'm drafting the first draft. So I'd say that my reading stays the same when I'm drafting, but when I'm revising, it's low.
Fair. I feel like that's fair. That's so
Mhm.
fair. Like, you don't want it to impact how you
Mhm.
are
Mhm.
making changes. That makes total sense. Yeah. What about you, Kara?
So it's really more contingent on how I'm feeling about books in general and like how busy my life is. So I'd love to be like my TBR is long like everyone else and their mom, but like if I'm not, because I don't always have a lot of time, sometimes I'm like I could be writing right now. But also when you're writing that like you need to sit down and have like your whole attention towards it, so it's not like a half like thing you kind of do on the side, you multitask with writing. So if the book has gotten my attention, then yes, I'm like reading more. So generally speaking, I'm not reading that much when I'm drafting, just because like a lot of books like they're just not getting my attention at the time because I'm too busy
Mhm.
right now. However, there's a book that has got me. I stayed up too late last night, and it's actually an arc, and I'm in its clutches, and it's real good, and I'm sad. So
Love.
that's where I'm at this specific moment. So it literally, I'm also a mood reader though, so I guess
Mhm.
that's like context.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
so fair.
Same. Yeah, the one that's been pulling me out of my reading slump. I talked about it last night on the stream, but The Last Sun has
Mhm.
been. It's like part of It's the tarot sequence. It's like a series, but basically it's like sci-fi and magic and gay and all the things that I love. And it's like funny also, like it's very humorous. Like it feels like I'm reading a fantasy adventure sitcom. Like that's what it feels like. And
Oh.
so it's very just like chill and enjoyable and just like super attainable, even though there's all of this like, this government lore that they're dropping in throughout, because you still get all of the things that you love, like the government lore, the fights, the action, creatures coming out of walls and attacking you. Like it's all the fun things that you love in a fantasy adventure, but also it's funny. Like one of the characters literally went up to the main character and was like, "You need to lose a few pounds, but your ass is great." Like stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so it's funny, but also like heartfelt and
Hmm.
actiony, and yeah, highly recommend. It's pulling me out of my reading slump for sure.
Oh, that's so nice because usually for fantasies, or like, because I've been wanting to read things that just have like more substance, because sometimes I just feel like I feel like it's poking holes in my brain, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I want something but sometimes it's like too much because at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, like it's just too much government and too much explanations, and I'm like, hey, so you lost me. I have no
Yeah.
idea what we're doing right now, but at the
Like.
same time, yeah, at the same time, I can't be willy nilly though. So I like that
Mm-hmm.
like perfect balance. The book that I
Yes.
am reading right now is Fire and Night by VK Dixon. She just finished her Kickstarter actually. So it's like a trilogy. And so I'm reading the first one. And so the way she pitches it is like Pride and Prejudice X Skyrim. And it is meeting my expectations.
That sounds so fun. I love
Girl, I
Skyrim.
love it. It's so good. And I'm realizing like just the way that she's written her characters, I'm like, man, because I'm fully aware. So the character in this draft that I'm writing right now, I don't think I like her very much. Um, she just is. It's not even that she's a bad person. She just exists. And like everyone
Mm-hmm.
else is kind of cooler than you. And I do know like I have another draft later on that like another project I want to get into. And that character is not fully fleshed, and I still like her better than the current one.
Hmm.
So I'm like looking at her writing, BK Dixon's writing, and I'm just like, wow, these characters feel so real, but also like the perfect amount of nuanced. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what makes it like super enjoyable. Because while I'm reading my book, it's not even per se like for comparison, but when I'm reading my book, I'm like, Yeah, so Revision Me is gonna have so much work to do because this main character just feels so flat. All she ever does is like her internal monologue. Like, where
Yeah.
is your personality?
Yeah, I've noticed that that's because I was going through beta feedback. That's been some of like my biggest feedback is like there's a lot of action, but I want to have more. They wanted more interiority and things
Oh,
like that,
okay.
just so they can get to know the characters a little bit better, like who they are as people, not just what they're
Mhm.
doing. And so that is going to be my main focus for draft 3 because draft 2 was just making the story make sense. Which I think I did because I mean they all seem to understand from start to finish how everything worked. They just obviously want to know more about the characters, which is great. They're interested enough in their story to want to know more about them, you know? So that's good. All good things. So that's gonna be my biggest task is interiority. That's gonna be the word of the month.
How do you feel like you fit that in? Can you like just write some of that in, or do you have to do more like of moving around or even like a little bit of replotting if necessary?
I think that all of the pieces are there. Obviously, I just like the action pieces are all there. I just feel like now I just need to start adding in more backstory, interiority, things like that, which I feel like for me, I have a pretty, I can naturally kind of flow in between interiority, dialogue, like all the things. Like I just kind of, I don't know. In my head, I see it like a scene on a TV. And so like, you know, like it's quiet at first, you're setting the scene with the camera, we're seeing the room, and then we're grounded, we're looking at these two specific characters, they start talking, there's your dialogue. What are they thinking as they're talking, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like I can naturally do that, but especially on like a first draft,
Hmm.
I am predominantly looking at actions and making sure that those are all there. And then if interiority comes to me as I'm doing that, I'll write it in.
Okay.
But that's definitely the thing that I add in later in the process, which is like right now, draft 3. So,
Nice.
Love that. Love that.
mhm.
All right. Well, let's cycle through some of these comments really quickly, and then we can do another sprint because I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Paladina loves writing, is working on the backstory of their protagonist on the reasons why he leaves his home planet and becomes a space pirate.
Space pirate.
I love pirates and I love space.
Right.
It sounds like that one Disney movie. What is it called again? That one Disney movie where he's a space pirate, right? No?
A space pirate?
Yeah.
Is that Atlantis?
It's not Atlantis. It's the one that's like equivalent to that. I always mix them up. I like Atlantis more though. Treasure Planet? Is it
Treasure Planet.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
I love that movie.
That's what I was thinking. Anyway.
Got it.
Nicole, the thing is that my character's powers are hemokinesis, blood manipulation, and shadow manipulation. Girl, I love that.
Love.
Love that so much. Katie says, hello, friends. Hi. So happy to have you here. Jasmine has one character's name that keeps changing because she can't decide what to call her. Yeah.
Happens.
Not the oh my god, I'm done. I love that.
Now that's tough.
Right.
Thank you. He was on it.
Yeah. DW knew.
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking of like Guardians of the Galaxy the whole time. I guess that would
I mean, same thing.
yeah.
They are space pirates.
It's live action Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
I'd argue that Treasure Planet did it better, but
Guardians of the Galaxy had a raccoon that said cuss words.
And that soundtrack.
Yes, I love both of them, Groot
Rocket
and Rocket.
and Gru.
I love their dynamic, their friendship.
Have you watched the most recent Guardians of the Galaxy where you get like his backstory, Rocket's backstory?
Yes. That movie was also unhinged though. I felt like I was on an
wept.
acid trip the whole time.
Yeah,
of that movie. It was weird. But his story, that's the only reason why I stayed.
Yeah. Literally sobbed because that was the hardest thing I've ever had to watch.
Not them making
I
us
don't
cry
do
over a
well.
raccoon.
Also, one thing about me, if in every single book that I write, if there's an animal in it, they will survive. Just saying.
I love that.
Just saying. I don't care if it's horror. I don't care if everyone is getting cut up into cubic pieces. The cat, the dog, the hamster, the fish, whatever, they're making it. Okay? So never fear. If you see an animal in one of my books, just know they're going to be the final girl. Okay?
Outlive me. Right.
I love that. That's so great to hear. I hate it when there's an animal death in a book.
Yeah. If I'm reading a book and there's an animal in it, I'm like, I swear to God, if this animal dies, I'm blacklisting this author.
Blacklist the author.
That is my unhinged, pettiest reason to blacklist an author is if they kill an animal in their book.
Agreed.
I'm just gonna start recommending you those books.
Yeah, right. I mean, listen, it just makes me sad. It makes me sad.
Yes.
So
people agreeing in the comments.
Because when I see that, I think about my pets and my animals, and I just can't bear the thought of them ever leaving me. They're going to outlive me. I just know this. And so, anyway, that's just my random thought.
No, I'm totally on board with you, Cody. My dog is definitely going to outlive me for sure.
It has to.
If he dies, I'll kill him.
Exactly.
I can't. All right. Are we ready for a sprint?
Yes. I'm about to go refill my coffee once you start this timer, and then I'm locking in.
Awesome sauce. All right. Well, let's do it. We've got 40 minutes on the clock in 3, 2, 1, right. has.
Ooh, did it.
How did everybody do?
Good.
Pretty swell. I finished chapter 4 and I started chapter 5.
Woo! You're on a roll.
I'm trying.
Oh,
There's still 2,200 comments. I don't know. What did I start with?
I don't even
I have
remember.
to, I have
I
to go
can't
and
remember.
rewatch to see what I started with because I honestly don't remember.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, you really did. How about you, Kara?
Yeah, it's going well. I have 641 words overall. They're slowly coming out, but something is something. I got a deadline and I don't think I'm gonna hit it, but you know what? That's a problem for future me, not me.
What's the deadline you have? Is it self-imposed or is it like outwardly opposed?
It's self-imposed that became outwardly opposed. So it's September 4th. And yeah, I need to hit 100K. I'm at 74. Oh, okay, 74,400 right now, which isn't bad. It's like it's possible, but
Mhm.
I'm an overwriter. So I'm concerned that I might hit 100K and realize, hey, the story's not over. So
Ooh,
we'll
yeah,
see. It's okay. It's okay.
that would be a bit rough.
What
But you
about for
got
you?
this. You got this, Kara.
Thank you.
You can do it.
What about for you, Charlie?
Yeah, so so first of all, I named one of the side characters that's going
Ooh.
on this, it's going to be in the book. And also I named, so Rasmus has this thing happen in his backstory that like is part of creating who he is. And it was like kind of a traumatic thing where one of his friends dies. And there's like a monster or like this creature in the woods that I had to name and figure out like what this creature is and like everything. So I did that and I finished his backstory. And now I'm working on figuring out what all of the different magics in this book can do, basically.
So, what
Yes.
do you think you like better? Do you like, because I know you just finished your first draft of Project Daydream. So, how do you feel about like when you were drafting and right now outlining? Like, which one are you getting better vibes from that you like better?
Yeah, so it's interesting that you asked that because I was literally just thinking about that this morning. And I really, really love drafting. Like Project Daydream, I fully pants that novel. But the problem with that is that it's so hard to think of what's going to happen in the moment sometimes. Like sometimes I wish that I would have just like did the outlining first off, because when I would come up on a scene where I was like not exactly sure what was going on, I would really struggle to write anything at all. It was really hard. And then the words that I wrote weren't great, and I just know that the draft is like just super super messy. So there's just I know it's going to be more work now revising that project. But with this one, I'm outlining, I'm figuring it out, like before I actually start writing the words, and I'm having a hard time with it just because I've never had to like do the front load all of that thinking stuff ahead of time, ahead of the drafting. And there have been moments where I was just like, throw the whole thing away and just write. Because like that's my instinct.
Mhm.
But I really like I am really liking the outlining or like the at least figuring out who the characters are and like
Mm-hmm.
all of the stuff first. It's just like doing all the fun part before struggling through the draft. I'm hoping though that it will make it easier to actually do the
Yeah.
drafting part.
Maybe. Usually
See,
it's supposed to. You go first, Cody. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say I'm a crazy person, and so when it comes to outlining, I know how I want it to end, and then I go from there. So like I'm like, what do I need to make happen to get the characters that I want to this end phase? And that's usually how I end up doing my outline. It ends up going in waves because the first one is very like we start here, they go here, this happens, that happens. It's very bare bones. But now like then as I flesh it out, go through it, now I have like I think it's like 11,000 word outline for Project
Ooh.
Purple.
Wow, that's nuts.
So yeah, but my goal is to come back to that once I'm done with this draft of this story, so I can get that one last little pass through before we start drafting it in October. So yeah.
Woo. Yeah, I never know the end. I usually have to tell myself to let it be because I can plan something to death. I
Mm-hmm.
can plan it through. Like, I'm the opposite of you, Charlie, where you're like, just get into the writing. I'm like, we can plan some more. We can keep planning. There's
Oh,
never enough
that's
planning.
one of my issues for sure.
Yeah. And so, like, when I was first writing this, I went through Save the Cat and like did all the beats accordingly. And
Mm-hmm.
then that's the thing though, like as even though I like plotting, a big plotter, that thing changed so many times because I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
does not fit. So as I like wrote, I had to like keep like shifting things around, which is like normal and that's natural. But
Mm-hmm.
you're so strong for pantsing. I cannot pants. I would have probably given up on my project because I just
Yeah,
can't do
I
that.
can't pants either. It's just not
Um,
in me.
I don't know what it is. I think, well, actually, I take that back. I feel like I do know what it is. Like, all of my ideas come with just like a little spark of an idea. I don't
Mhm.
know anything about my project before. Like Cody says, he knows the ending right away. I
Mhm.
don't know those things. Like, one time I started a project and I literally, the only thing that I had was this like incessant image in my head. I was trying to, I just remember because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and I was trying to sleep and I kept having this like thought of um like there's like a torture thing that it wasn't like I wasn't like watching it, but I heard about it where they like drop a drop of water in the middle of your forehead over and over and over again.
Oh, to make you think you're drowning,
Yeah. And
like torture. Yeah.
I was thinking about that and then like I have a very vivid imagination and as I feel like most writers do, but I could almost like hear the sound of the water dropping and everything. And then I was like, oh, it's like echoing now. And then I was thinking of, oh, this person like is in a chamber or whatever. And I just like had that little tiny thought that turned into a sentence. And then I was just like, I need to write that down. Otherwise, I'm never going to sleep. And then I wrote like 10,000 words. And so it's just like, I literally just have like the smallest idea and then I kind of just branch off from there. I think that's why, because it doesn't all come to me at once. I don't have the idea for a full scene in my head at once. I just
Mm-hmm.
have one little thing. And it's the same thing with this project. I think that might be why I'm struggling because I literally just had a character and like some sort of like concept of the world that they might be in. And
Mm-hmm.
that's literally all I had. Like that, I sent Cody a little like you know what I'm talking about, like the little
Mm-hmm.
idea concept for my book. And I was like, what do you think about this? And he's like, oh yeah, that sounds really cool. But that's literally all I had. That's everything that I had. I have nothing else. And then I have to like turn that into a whole freaking book. And it's hard. So
But see,
hard.
that's my favorite part though. Like that is my favorite part because it's literally it's like the equivalent of like wow, I just had like a stroke when I said that word. The equivalent of like, like whenever you're like digging for treasure, kind of, and you're shuffling through all this sand and you're going throughout your day-to-day life, and then all of a sudden you get that see that shiny thing and you're like, wait, that could be a thing that I could write. And then you just start like ravenously digging in the sand. Like that is like my favorite part because I'm like, what am I going to find when I uncover this little plot thought, this little plot bubble that just came to me? Like last night, what was I watching? We were watching something. We were watching Project Runway.
Oh, I
And
love that.
literally there was someone who was doing something with a garment and they just like shoved their hand through it like that. And it was just like this brown garment with a hand. And it made me think of like this story where there's either a killer or some kind of like paranormal presence. And all of the victims are found buried underground with their hand above ground holding a piece of candy. Like a lollipop or something. That's how they're like found, each victim. And so like that led to like a whole spiral. And this didn't, of course, hit me at like midnight. And so I was like, I need to just type everything down that I'm thinking about this. And so yeah, I just that came to me from watching Project Runway.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like this idea that I have right now, the one that I'm working on right now, literally came to me as I was driving to go pick up a pizza. Just like the most random place. Like why? Maybe it was the road rage. Could have been the road
No, I
rage.
want pizza.
But like it could have been the road rage because this is a very angry project. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard to kind of like outline a whole thing all at once when you only have like an atom of an idea. It's not like even fully fledged, or like you don't even have the whole character or a scene or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I think
hard
the thing that helps me kind of nail that down is, what are you wanting to say with this book? Like, is there any, like, what is the theme? Like, what is your goal that you're accomplishing by telling this specific story? And usually once you kind of nail that down, that will inherently, feed into your plot and what needs to happen for the characters to go on this journey to tell the story that and convey the message that you're wanting to give with the story. That's what helps me. Like for me, I was struggling a lot with Project Purple until I realized that my story was wanting to, one, have like these underdogs that basically have been cast out, who believe that they are worthless, and having them be the heroes that have to save the world kind of vibe. And so like having that through arc, it kind of inspired the story in itself.
Yeah. And I was talking to Hannah Grace Fletcher about this the other day too. We like got on a call to do some writing, and she's like, what are your characters wanting to do? Like what do they need in order to heal or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, Delaney just basically feels like she doesn't have like an issue with self-confidence, like with her exterior, but her as a person, like she does feel like she doesn't have any worth because she's been abandoned and people are mean to her because of some things that happened in her backstory. And she kind of just feels out of place and forced to live in this life where she feels like just really uncomfortable with who she is and she doesn't like it. She wants to essentially find some sort of self-acceptance, but then there's also like nature versus nurture elements in there. Like there's just a lot of things I'm playing around with this, which has been helping for sure. I don't know, it's just hard like coming up with something from nothing. It's just really, really hard, and I've just never had to do it like this before. So I think it's easier when I'm like writing as I go, because then in some ways it's harder, but in ways it's easier, because then like sometimes as I'm writing, I'll like be like, what's the most natural step after this one scene that I have? And then it just gradually unravels itself. Whereas outlining, it's like you have to do all of that thinking up front. And it's just, I don't know. It's just different.
I will say, as someone who is a chronic outliner nowadays, for me, I feel like don't put so much pressure on yourself to have to know every single thing before you start drafting. Because for me, like I said, in the early stages, I know the action beats, I know what the characters are doing to move the plot forward, all of those things. And usually I personally don't discover the true nitty gritty of like my characters and who they are and how they're reacting to these things until I'm in the first draft. I know kind of like where their starting point is and where I want their character arc to end in that book, but everything else in between, I kind of just like feel it out, let the characters kind of do it themselves. They kind of take over and they say what they say. They say what they said. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I do it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to know everything, because you're not gonna know everything.
No, 100%. And I am doing my best to do that. I think a lot of the things that I'm trying to get through right now, like the character backstory, a lot of the reason why I'm wanting to focus on that so much is because I already know, at least right now, I already know like a couple of things that are going to happen now, that at this point. But I need to like flesh it out before I can really figure out how they get there, I guess. Which for the actual plot. Like I need to sort of know some of these things before I can really jump in and get started. So I'm trying to like come at it with a more relaxed mindset, but it is a little difficult not to go full force and just be like, I need to know everything down to their like favorite color, favorite whatever, like all their, like I don't need to, like I'm trying not to go down the deep end.
Yeah.
But just kind of like just doing what I know I absolutely need. Because I think another thing that with last little point here I'll make about the pantsing thing. I think one thing that makes pantsing really difficult is that you are getting to know the story as you go. You don't really know what you're trying to say until you've said it. And so like pretty much the whole time I was writing Project Daydream, I was just like, what the heck am I even writing? Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Like, is the words that I'm writing right now, like actually going to say something at the end of it? Like, I don't know that. I have no idea. And I still don't know because I haven't actually read it yet.
That's okay. All in due time. In due time.
It's hard, for sure.
Yeah, I think I just have a running idea that everyone's a bit of both, pantser and plotter, just because like all stories require that. Even though I'm big on like plotting, like I think for me what helps the most is starting out with just like brainstorming, because I also had like those kind of visions. Yes. Beautiful.
I have a Plantser journal that is
Beautiful.
literally for half pantser, half plotter.
Yes. Even though I'm like basically a plotter, the thing is like stories require both. You need both, because if you're too rigid, your story falls flat. And if you're too whimsical, nobody knows where we're going. The reader can't tell, you can't tell. So you need like that, like both. But I found that like sometimes starting out, just literally massaging out the story, like before I even get to the outline, like the pre-outline, like for this next project, which honestly right now, like everything sounds more interesting than the project I'm doing right now because I'm in the trenches with her. But anyway, the other project, the other project is just a running like list of random things that I'm like, yes, and this and this and this. There is like when I go back to outline, then I'll like process that. So sometimes that's kind of like, you could call it a pre-outline if you'd like, but it's just massaging it. Like I also had this time when I was trying to go to sleep and I already knew like the story was going to be a thing that I wanted to do. But my brain just kept playing the same like vision too. I'm assuming like writers are all the same at this point. But yeah, I had like this vision. I just had like the main character like hunched over her cello and she was playing her cello. And she had like the doors, like she's got massive doors and windows and they were like all open. She kind of lives on like 5 acres. And this girl was just playing the same tune over and over and over, like a crazy person. But like the wind carries to like the neighbors, like the neighbors can hear this. And not only is this obviously like annoying for the people in her world, it was annoying to me. Like I'm trying to sleep and I'm just like hearing like the same tune, her like agonizing over this like cello. And I was like, that's a good scene. Okay, I'll like put it in there. And even after I wrote it, it was still in my head. But I just kind of like put all of those things in there. So then when I am finally ready to do an outline, I have some things to work with. But even when I like outlined this story, I didn't know what the end was like. I was just like, big bad thing at the end. I have no idea what that is, what I want, but I know I don't want it to be like a cliche thing. And so there was like one day where I was like, well, I'm in like the middle of Act 1 and I'm going to have to start foreshadowing this. I need to know what this is at this point. But it was then when I was like writing, and that's when I sat down and I was like, so this journal is just for writing nonsense. Like, what is going to happen right now? Because it needs to happen. Like, there's no more waiting time. But during the outline, I try not to press myself too much on it because like sometimes I'm like, yes, this is exactly perfect. And then my character, like mid book, is like, no, this is not what's going to happen. You thought wrong. And I'm like, okay, never mind. And I am so hard. Like, I want to keep on to like my outline, like so badly. And the characters are like, so your story's going to break. It's either like we do what I want to do or you write whatever that outline was. And I was like, okay, I guess I got
Mhm.
to shift. So let your outline be like obviously as zoomed in or zoomed out as you like, but usually just a bare bones kind of thing, and then you can go back and fill in. And then I like when
Yeah.
people do their reverse outlines too, when they're like, so what did I actually write?
Yeah. This is what I outlined. What did I actually do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your thought on the how you're like kind of massaging the idea. I think of it as like a picture. Like at first it's blurry, like it is what it is, but it's blurry. And then with each draft, I'm honing in and clearing up the image, making
Hmm.
everything a little sharper to see until at the end you have a very clear cut image. This is what it is. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, your little thought kind of inspired a fun little short story in my mind, Kara, of the woman playing a violin. Because in my mind, I'm seeing like an old decrepit woman like hunched over playing
Ooh.
violin, and like
Ooh.
she's maybe been playing it for years straight, and finally a neighbor comes over and does something about it, and like forces her to stop or something, or kills her. I don't know. And it was actually her playing the violin that was keeping this evil at bay, and that's why she was doing it. And maybe
Wow.
this now that she's gone and is no longer
The
playing this
evil has been
song,
released.
the evil has been released and it wreaks havoc. That sounds so fun.
Wow.
And
So big writer brain right there. I'm listening,
Yeah.
Kelly.
I actually had something similar when Cody said, well, actually, when you said the hand and then the lollipop, that thing that you said.
Oh yeah.
So I actually like 4 years ago, I think it was like 2021. I'm not sure. I was trying to write a thriller, but in the perspective of the serial killer,
Mm.
like written from his perspective. And he was a landscaper, so he would bury his victims with dirt in their body cavity and then like plant flowers and stuff in it.
Oh, like use them as like a natural fertilizer.
Yeah, and that's how they were found with flowers growing.
Flowers growing out of their bodies. That's
Mhm.
a very
Oh,
visceral image.
that's interesting. It makes me think of
I don't feel like I've ever seen anything like that before. Someone that literally has like flowers growing out of them, out of their dead body.
Yeah, like he would
Like while they're still like not decomposed,
yeah. It was, and he would like set them up, like almost like stage them.
Yeah.
And that's how they would be found. Yeah.
That
That
makes
was
me think
Katie,
of like
that's exactly the vibe I was thinking. What Katie said,
what?
tell heart, but instead of like the
Oh.
tick tick under the
Uh-huh.
floorboards, it's
Uh-huh.
just it's a woman playing violin.
love that.
Love.
Yeah, two things. One is you made me think, Charlie, you made me think of there's like this fungi that basically so like I think they're leafcutter ants, but when they're like in a colony, there's this fungi that can like infiltrate their brains and
Mm-hmm.
like basically like grow in there and they start to like get crazy
Mm-hmm.
and like
That's
throw
what
themselves
inspired The
off.
Last of
They're
Us.
cordyceps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
cordyceps.
so they're like, no, we're getting rid of you. And that's what I was thinking of, like the fungi growing out of them. So there are
Yeah.
Mhm.
images of so that's
I
what I
actually
thought of.
think that's what like inspired the idea, because I've heard of that before. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember because it was like so long ago, but like I do remember like trying to write a story was like set in the serial killer's perspective, and he was like in journal entry format,
Mm-hmm.
and then like news bulletins and things like that.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's a book coming out. I don't know what it's called. I think it might be like Cruel for the Summer or something. It's a horror novel. I've been seeing this guy on TikTok talk about it, but it's like a similar like story, but instead of like fungi infecting the brain, it's like this like coral oceanic something that someone is like sees growing out of the sand and they like touch it and it like it gets inside their ear and grows, I don't know, into some kind of sea monster hybrid thing. So I want to
interesting.
read that when it comes out. It's kind of that vibe.
Oh,
And the
I
cover
love
is
things like
beautiful. Let me
that.
see if I can find it. It might be
I
called
need
Dead of
to
Summer.
I need to
While
look
you're
for that.
while you're doing that, I'm gonna just quickly run through these comments because we had some people
Yeah.
jump in here, and I'm like so behind. CK jumped in and said I won't make it to the Yap session, but I hope this goes so well. I don't think you're here, CK, but it did. It went great. Let's see. Innocent Hedgehog. Hello, how are you? Hi, Dammy. Is it Dammy or Dami?
Dami.
Hi.
We love Dami.
I should be writing, but I'm watching these guys do a dance cover of Your Idol and help, I can't get up. Okay. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know if you're still here.
Dami, if you're still here, I'm so excited for Children with Gifts. I need it immediately.
Yeah, I have seen her posts on Instagram, and it looks so good.
I know. I need it.
JK says, hello,
Limbo.
everyone. How are you and what are you working on? Sorry I'm late. Attending a writing conference. That sounds like fun. I want to go to a writing conference.
Too.
Hello. Is it Julos? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but hello. How are you?
I know the last name is Etienne.
Etienne. Okay. Jasmine says, Cody, your brain is so big. I want it.
Big brain. Listen, I have ADHD. So as soon as someone says something and it sparks an idea, listen, it's a whole rabbit hole. A black hole has been formed.
That's why the images keep going in our heads.
Yes.
Katie
Like we're literally just like creating all these new stories together.
Katie is loving this discussion. The creative energy is such a vibe.
Yes.
I agree. I love this is one of the reasons why I love doing like a co-hosting writing sprints, because you can really just like get down into it, have nice little chats.
I found it.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
It's Ryan LaSala, Dead of Summer. But this is the book cover, if I can get it to load. There we go.
Ooh.
But you see how it's like the oceanic stuff like growing out of the head?
I love that.
Yeah. I don't
love
think it's not
that.
out yet, but it's coming out soon, I think.
I'm
Question
interested
mark.
because like my book is basically sea creatures. So that sounds super
Well,
interesting.
Oh, September 16th is when it releases.
We're almost there.
You said
Yep.
Ryan LaSala?
Yeah, Ryan LaSala, The Dead of Summer.
My pen is going out. Awesome.
And the little tagline is "Don't move, don't think, don't bleed, don't breathe." Yes, don't breathe.
Ooh, sounds like Red Tide, like a alternate version of like Red Tide.
It's Stephen King meets Holly Jackson by way of We Were Liars in this action-packed story of queer horror from the acclaimed author of The Honeys. Okay.
It's definitely going straight to my TBR.
Yeah, same. It's got a lot of good ratings already, so add that to my want to read.
Why are TBRs like so hard to get through though? Like, just
because there's always new books coming out and no time to read all the books. Because
like,
damn it, I have to go to work. Ugh, being an adult sucks sometimes. But then I also remember that I can go to Kroger and buy a chocolate cake anytime I want to. So then
Exactly. Exactly.
it has its highs and lows.
You got to pay bills, but you can also, you know, kind
Order
of
pizza
sometimes
whenever I
choose what bills to pay. You know, we can pay pizza bills, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
but
pizza bill is mandatory.
I get in trouble for ordering pizza though. Like I order it a little too much.
By who? Who gets in trouble? Because one thing that I've learned about is that as long as I'm not getting arrested, you can't get in trouble as an adult. Like, who's going to put me in timeout?
My
Not
doctor,
me.
my bank account.
Well, listen.
That's too much adulting. That's adulting to the other side.
Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. Within my bank account is none of my business.
Until you can't get no more pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But then there's credit cards, you know, so it's fine.
Not running to debt for pizza.
Listen. I'll be able to pay it when I get paid next week.
The pizza. Oh gosh, now I want a slice of pepperoni.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get some pizza after this. Not gonna lie.
I don't need. If I'm not with a lot of people, I don't need pizza. It's so funny.
How are they gonna know?
Yes.
But see, that's the beautiful thing about being a dink. Dual income, no kids. You know, that extra money, it goes towards pizza and Oreos because those things make me happy and they fuel my productivity to write more books.
Yeah, that's facts.
Oh, stop.
You
A
got
pizza
everyone
roll in the
hungry
fridge.
now.
I know. We're thinking about pizza rolls and
I want pizza rolls. All right, you got me.
yeah.
I was like, pizza. I don't know about that. Pizza rolls?
Say less.
I'm
In the
here.
oven or in the air fryer? Bussin'.
Air fryer.
Yes.
Gotta get them
Anyway,
nice.
So
pizza rolls.
I
but
know what I'm doing next.
Okay.
Pizza rolls.
Yeah.
yep. I will be hitting up the Domino's. Are they still doing? They're still doing that any pizza for like $9.99 right now, right?
Don't tell me that, Cody.
It's like any pizza, any toppings.
Why
like
would you
can
say
do
that
up
to
to like
your
You're about to
toppings.
enable her. Oh no.
My plan is to have like a protein smoothie and like
Oh,
some
screw
sort of
that.
like nice healthy meal. Okay, like I need a vegetable in my life.
I have
It's
protein in
not
my coffee. Does that
continuing to-
count?
In your coffee. Dude, just like pack protein things on your pizza.
Exactly. Like if
Why
you
not have
get
the best of
meats
both
and
worlds?
veggies, you know,
Yeah. Pack it on
it's basically
your
like a
pizza.
salad, but on bread. Listen, one thing about me.
An
One
enabler.
thing about me, yes, I'm the enabling friend. I'm not the one that you text to be like, hey, I need you to convince me not to spend any money because I'm going to do the opposite. I'll be like, actually,
I am
Queen,
that friend.
you worked hard this week. You clocked into your job 8 to 5, 5
Spend your
days
money.
this week. Babe, get that Taco Bell. You deserve it. Like I'm that friend that's going to tell you
Well,
that you deserve to treat yourself.
Charlie, now you know what you need. If you want someone to tell you yes, Cody. If you want someone to tell you no, it's me.
Okay.
Miley, you've never done protein coffees like with the Premier Protein shakes? I use those as like creamer instead of
Wow.
like normal creamer.
Is it good doing it that way?
It tastes like coffee with creamer because I mean I get the cinnamon roll flavored Premier Protein, so it's like cinnamon roll coffee. But because my toxic trait is I don't eat breakfast ever because I'm never hungry until like 2 p.m. And so this is my workaround using a protein shake because there's 30 grams of protein. I'm getting my coffee, my caffeine for the day. Here, I'll show you what I've been using. Hold on.
That's a true adulting hack.
I just realized that I forgot to pay my parking. I have to pay my parking. I probably already have a speeding car.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one's caramel.
The way you're holding it is like a superhero ad or something. Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Get your Premier Protein today.
Do you put that whole thing in there or just like a little bit?
No, it depends. If I'm doing like a big iced coffee, then I'll do the whole thing. But when I'm doing this, I know I'm going to drink about 3-4 cups. So I just kind of ration it out to put some in each cup.
I'm with Ryderly Mally. Is that how you say it? Yeah. No protein drinks, no coffee. But good hack. Good hack.
Yeah. If you like coffee and you don't, I mean, because these don't really taste like protein shakes to me. They just taste like sweet milk. So, which is what, creamer is. So the Zoom.
All right. Well, I think that's it, friends.
Yes. We have yapped enough. And we are all hungry.
We have yapped quite enough. Do you guys want to do the thing? Plug your stuff.
Yeah, sure. You go first this time, Cody.
Okay. Well, I'm Cody the Writer. I'm here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. What else am I on? Substack. That's probably it. There's probably more, but that's the main ones that I post on. I wrote this book, The Ghostwriters Club. If you want to buy it, it's available. The paperback is available everywhere you buy books online. And the ebook is available on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. And yeah, I post videos semi-regularly. And I have a good time.
Yeah. Hey guys, so I'm Kara, and on YouTube and on Instagram, I'm Kara on Paper. And I currently don't have any other socials because it's too much to keep up with. But I hope that I can have a new video out hopefully in 2 weeks. So if you stick around, you might find out. Yeah.
I remembered something. Can I say?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you're in the chat, I'm gonna be per Natalie's request yesterday on the stream. I'm gonna be doing a video series on how to be an indie author, like all the aspects of it, from publishing, ISBNs, all that stuff. I have a community post on my page if you want to go and leave a comment and request any specific topics. I'm gonna be doing some bulk filming of all of those so that I can have those ready for Q4 challenge, so that those can just be posting, doing their thing while I am focused on drafting. So if you're interested in that, go ask some questions and I'll be answering them.
Ooh, that's so cool.
So, and hi, I'm Charlie. This is my channel, Charlie Rewrites. I don't have a posting schedule right now. I'm just kind of posting when I have the energy and the ability to post. But I'm also on Instagram, and I always forget to like say that I have Instagram. And it's at Charlie Rewrites on Instagram. So if you want to follow me over there, please do. It was so fun having you guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for
so much
having
fun.
us.
It was so much fun. All right. Well, I will sound off here. Bye, guys.